Good morning. It's Thursday morning, and today, on Thursday, we celebrate as Christians the Feast of the Ascension, at least if you're following the church calendar. This is the day that comes 40 days after the resurrection, and it was the day that Jesus ascended. We won't talk about it today as our subject, but we will celebrate it on Sunday morning. It's one of the best attested biblical events and least understood in my view. So I hope that you join us on Sunday morning because I think it's going to be fun to explore it together. Today, however, we're going to be in Psalm 34, and I'm going to break it into two parts. It's a beautiful psalm. It's unbelievably provocative and evocative. I'm going to read the first 7 verses today, and then tomorrow we'll do the rest of Psalm 34. Let me read it for you, these first 7 verses. I will extol the Lord at all times. His praise will always be on my lips. I will glory in the Lord. Let the afflicted hear and rejoice. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. This poor man called, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Though you might find in your Bible, in Psalm 34, a direct attribution as to when this was happening, that this is a Psalm of David, I'm going to draw it out of that specific possible context and just say that the writer here is in that afterglow of a time of real trouble when you cry out to the Lord for help. You get what is unmistakable, direct intervention from God as an answer to your prayers, and you are just overwhelmed with gratitude. We are not deists, we're theists. We believe that God is active in this world. We believe he does things. We believe he hears our cries. And this psalm helps us express that. Here he starts by saying, I'm going to extol the Lord at all times. I'll praise his, my praise will always be on my lips. He's thinking specifically of something that God has just done. I sought the Lord, he said, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. Just this sense of God being with me. But this is the verse that really calls to me. He says, this poor man called, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all his troubles. Just in humility, recognizing I needed God. This poor man called out, and God heard me, little old me. God, the God of the ages, responded to my cry. He came from his heaven and acted on my behalf. And I love this final verse. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Just this sense of being surrounded by God. In this day, you may need to lean into this. You may need to remember times when God actually answered your prayers. You saw that. You may have to recall today that time of afterglow when your face was radiant because you knew God had delivered you. This may be a season where you need to remember that so that you lean in hope again, lean into God again and saying, God, I need your help. Because the psalmist says what I think is true for all of us. This poor man called out, and the Lord answered me. May the Lord bless you today as you remember both how he's answered in the past and as you lean into God with expectation that he will hear you today. Grace and peace to you.